Welcome back to Book Dive. If you're looking for something to give you a little boost during your morning commute, you're in the right place because today we're going deep into Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass.
hmm
This book, it's basically like rocket fuel for your dreams, disguised as like a hilarious conversation with your super smart best friend.
Yeah, and that's what is so great about Sincero's style. Like, she takes all these self-help concepts that might seem a little intimidating, and she makes them feel as relatable. I don't know, like her nephew's perfect deadlift form when he picks up a dropped beer can. Who knew a toddler could have better form than his own dad?
Right. I mean, who hasn't felt like a bunch of toddlers fighting over sippy cups
Oh,
when they're trying to meditate?
oh.
But, beyond all the humor, Sincero's got a really powerful message. We're not just stuck with the hand we're dealt. She really dives deep into how our thoughts and beliefs,
Hmm.
especially the ones we pick up in childhood, they actually shape the reality that we experience.
Yeah, it's like she's handing you a flashlight so you can illuminate like the hidden corners of your subconscious. You know those limiting beliefs we all carry around? The ones that whisper like, you're not good enough, or money is hard to come by. Sincero, she shows us exactly how to identify those, and more importantly, how to start rewiring them.
She even talks about how her own money mindset, it was actually shaped by watching her dad struggle financially,
Right.
but then she kind of flips the script.
Yeah.
She talks about buying an Audi as like this symbol of, you know, up-leveling her beliefs about what's possible.
It's a great example of how, like, shifting your internal narrative can have a tangible impact on your external reality. If
Yeah.
you believe that abundance is possible, you're more likely to attract it.
Okay, so that brings us to source energy and the vortex. These almost mystical sounding concepts that Sincero uses to describe a state of being, where you're basically vibrating on a higher frequency,
Hmm.
aligned with the universe. And good things just flow into your life.
Yeah, I mean, think of source energy as like this universal power source, and the vortex as the sweet spot where you're plugged in and like fully charged. Sincero argues that practices like meditation and gratitude are key to tapping into this energy. And it's not just about feeling good. She links this alignment to actually attracting the things that you desire in life.
Okay, so meditation can be a challenge,
Yeah.
right? I mean, toddler, sippy cup analogy aside, it's not always easy to quiet the mind. But Sincero emphasizes that even a few minutes a day can have huge benefits, like reduced stress,
Yeah.
better focus,
Yeah.
and stronger intuition.
Yeah, she positions meditation as like this practical tool for personal growth, not just like a spiritual practice. And this practicality is like a hallmark of her approach. She doesn't just tell you to think positive thoughts, she gives you actionable strategies to shift your mindset and create real change.
Speaking of practical, let's talk about surrender. I mean, this might sound counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but Sincero argues that letting go of control can actually be incredibly empowering.
Yeah, and she uses this fantastic analogy of throwing a party. Like the host who's relaxed and trusts that people will have fun is way more likely to enjoy themselves than the one who's like micromanaging every detail, right? Surrender.
Yeah.
It isn't about giving up, it's about trusting the process and allowing things to unfold naturally.
It's like letting the universe be your co-pilot, guiding you towards your destination. And speaking of navigating towards something you want, how do we deal with the inevitable roadblock of fear? Sincero doesn't shy away from this. In fact,
Yeah.
she shares a pretty intense personal story about confronting her fear in a pitch-black cave.
What's so fascinating is her flip the fear technique. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, she suggests reframing it as excitement or an opportunity for growth. So that feeling of butterflies in your stomach before you know a big presentation, what if you chose to see it as a sign that you're about to do something amazing?
I love that, turning fear into fuel for badassery.
Right.
And speaking of badassery, one of the things I appreciate most about this book is Sincero's emphasis on self-love.
Yeah. Self-love is like a major theme throughout You Are a Badass. Wow. Sincero, she encourages readers to ditch the self-deprecating humor, to embrace their quirks, and to believe in their inherent worthiness.
She even has a whole chapter dedicated to ditching the I'm such a mess narrative.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we've all got our quirks.
Yeah.
Self-love isn't about being conceited. It's about recognizing your value and treating yourself with the same kindness and respect you'd offer a dear friend.
And this links directly to like the quality of our relationships, the way we treat ourselves. It sets the standard for how others treat us. If we're constantly putting ourselves down, it's likely to show up in our interactions.
If you're loving these insights, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Book Dives for more deep dives into books that can transform your life.
No.
Back to You Are a Badass.
Sincero also makes a really powerful point about the connection between self-love and our ability to stand up for ourselves. If we don't value ourselves, we're more likely to let other people's opinions dictate our choices and
Right.
kind of dim our own light.
It's about owning your power and expressing your truth without letting fear or insecurity hold you back. And that leads us to another biggie, money. Sincero has a really interesting take on finances. She encourages readers to shift their perspective, viewing money as energy and developing a positive relationship with it.
Yeah. She emphasizes that it's not about pinching pennies or striving to become a Wall Street tycoon. It's about recognizing the limiting beliefs we hold about money and transforming them into a mindset of abundance.
And she doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk. Remember that Audi example? She uses her own experience to demonstrate how up-leveling your beliefs can lead to tangible results in your bank account.
Yeah, it's like if you can envision yourself driving around in like a fancy car, you're more likely to manifest the financial abundance to actually make it happen. And she gives you like some practical steps to get there through her rules of wealth consciousness.
Okay, let's unpack those rules. What stood out to you?
Well, they all kind of revolve around shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. So instead of like focusing on what you don't have, you start appreciating what you do have. You identify and release those pesky limiting beliefs about money, and you surround yourself with people who have a healthy, abundant relationship with money.
Almost like upgrading your financial friend group.
Yeah.
Right. And speaking of support systems, Sincero also talks a lot about the importance of surrounding yourself with positive people in general. Those energy vampires. Time to show them the door.
Yeah. She's really emphasizing the impact our social circles have on our energy and beliefs. The people we spend time with, they can either lift us up or drag us down. So it's about being mindful of the energy we allow into our lives.
It's like creating a force field of positivity, right? Only good vibes allowed.
Yep.
But even with the best support system, life throws curveballs. How does Sincero address dealing with the tough stuff?
Well, she doesn't sugarcoat it. She acknowledges that personal growth can be challenging. There will be fear, self-doubt, and setbacks along the way.
I mean, remember that cave story? Facing our fears is part of the deal. But Sincero seems to believe that we have more power than we realize when it comes to choosing how we respond to those challenges.
Absolutely. She encourages us to keep going, to learn from our mistakes, and to remember that we're capable of achieving anything we set our minds to.
It's about embracing the journey, not just fixating on the destination.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes You Are a Badass so powerful. It's not just like a collection of self-help tips. It's a personal growth journey. Sincero shares her own struggles and triumphs, making her relatable and inspiring.
She's like that wise, hilarious friend who cheers you on while also keeping it real.
And ultimately, You Are a Badass is a reminder that we are all capable of living extraordinary lives.
But it's not going to happen by magic, right?
Yeah.
Sincero emphasizes that we have to take action.
Yeah. She reminds us that the universe rewards action. It's about getting out of our heads and into the world, taking risks, and making things happen.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about taking those thoughts and turning them into concrete steps.
Precisely. And Sincero provides a wealth of practical tools and techniques to help us do just that. Like meditation, for example.
Right. It's not just about sitting cross-legged and chanting Om.
Yeah.
Sincero breaks down how meditation can help us connect with that source energy, reduce stress, and even get better at trusting our intuition.
Yeah, it's a practice that can have a profound impact on our overall well-being. And Sincero provides really clear and concise steps for incorporating it into our lives.
Well, let's not forget about gratitude. It's not just about saying thank you. It's about cultivating a deep appreciation for all the good in our lives.
Yeah, Sincero highlights that gratitude is like this powerful tool for raising our frequency and attracting more good things. It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have and recognizing the abundance that already exists.
And sometimes that shift in perspective involves letting go of the heavy stuff.
Absolutely. She emphasizes that holding on to anger and resentment only hurts us in the long run. It's about releasing that negative energy and creating space for healing and growth.
And she provides practical steps for practicing forgiveness,
Yeah.
even when it feels incredibly challenging.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that forgiveness is ultimately a gift we give to ourselves. It frees us from the burden of the past and allows us to move forward with a lighter heart.
It's like hitting the reset button on our emotional baggage.
Right.
And speaking of baggage, let's face it, we all have limiting beliefs we need to unpack.
Yeah, Sincero reminds us that these beliefs are often based on illusions and past experiences that no longer serve us.
Like that old story we keep telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to afford that, or I'm just not the kind of person who...
Exactly. She encourages us to challenge those beliefs
Yeah.
and to recognize that we have the power to rewrite the script.
So instead of letting those limiting beliefs dictate our choices, we can choose to see things differently.
Yeah, she encourages us to step outside our comfort zones and to embrace the unknown. It's about recognizing that the greatest growth often occurs when we challenge ourselves to do things that feel scary or uncomfortable.
If you're already feeling inspired to step into your badass self, be sure to leave a comment below and tell us what's resonating with you. And don't forget to check out the affiliate link in the description to grab your own copy of You Are a Badass.
Now, one thing that really resonated with me is Sincero's emphasis on the fact that living a badass life isn't about being perfect
Right.
or having it all figured out. It's about embracing the journey, learning from our mistakes, and celebrating our successes along the way.
It's about giving ourselves permission to be perfectly imperfect.
Exactly. She encourages us to be kind to ourselves, to have fun, and to remember that life is an adventure meant to be enjoyed.
It's like she's giving us permission to ditch the rule book and create our own definition of success.
Yeah. It's about letting go of the pressure to be perfect and embracing the messy, beautiful, and perfectly imperfect journey of life.
And doing it with a sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
Because life is too short to take ourselves too seriously.
And Sincero's writing style really embodies that playful spirit. It's witty and relatable, making even complex self-help concepts easy to digest.
You Are a Badass. It's packed with practical advice and hilarious anecdotes that make it a really engaging and inspiring read for anyone who's ready to ditch their limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create a life they truly love.
Yeah. It's a call to action to stop playing small and to embrace our full potential. And Sincero doesn't just tell us to think positive thoughts. She provides tools and techniques for actually changing our beliefs and behavior.
Like those money affirmations she talks about. I mean, walk around chanting, I love money, money loves me. It might feel a little weird at first, but it's about shifting those deep-seated beliefs that can sabotage our financial success.
It's about retraining our subconscious minds to align with abundance. And Sincero's own story of going from struggling artist to successful entrepreneur is a testament to the power of these principles.
It's inspiring to see how she used these tools to transform her own life and create the financial freedom to pursue her passions. But if
Isn't all sunshine and roses, right?
there were bumps along the way.
Exactly. And she doesn't shy away from that. She acknowledges the fear, the self-doubt, and the inevitable setbacks that come with personal growth.
But she encourages us to keep going,
Yeah.
to learn from our mistakes, and to remember that we are capable of achieving anything we set our minds to.
One of the things that makes this book so powerful is that it's not just a self-help book. It's a personal growth journey. Sincero shares her own struggles and triumphs, making her relatable and inspiring.
She's like that wise
Yeah.
and hilarious friend who cheers you on while also giving you a much-needed dose of reality.
And ultimately, You Are a Badass is a reminder that we are all capable of living extraordinary lives.
It's a call to embrace our power, to love ourselves fiercely, and to create a life that is aligned with our deepest desires.
So as you go about your week, think about one limiting belief that you'd like to rewire. What's one small step you can take today to move closer to the badass life you deserve?
That's it for our deep dive into You Are a Badass. If you want to continue exploring these ideas, don't forget to check out the affiliate link in the description to grab a copy of the book. And be sure to leave us a comment and let us know what resonated with you. Until next time, book divers, keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep being a badass.